Okay, MTP was completed. Medical termination of the pregnancy, that was completed or not? I remember as far as the contraceptives are concerned, all of those were completed, right? So let's begin from the MTP. It will be revision even if it's not complete, it's completed or not. Now see, when in the case of pregnancy, when the continuation of the pregnancy is harmful to the fetus or to the mother or to both, in that case, the you can say induced abortion is, you can say, sort of advised, right? So as to if the continuation of the pregnancy might end up killing the mother or the fetus or both of them. So it is the voluntary or intentional or induced abortion so as to end the pregnancy before the full term, right? And approximately this data is important. Many a times it is asked as such. So 40 to 50 million MTPs they are performed per year. Now MTP is done when the continuation of the pregnancy is harmful to what I said, mother, fetus, or both of them. Now, up until the first trimester, meaning the first 3 months, the MTP is considered safe. But after that, meaning the second trimester, that is the next 3 months, meaning the sixth month up until that, then they become very risky. And beyond that, it's not even possible. So this is the part of medical termination of pregnancy, and it should be done as a, you can say, advice from the doctor, obviously. Then comes infertility. Now, infertility refers to the whole entire phenomena wherein a couple could not conceive. They cannot have a kid. Despite of being like, you can say living together, despite of 1 to 2 years of regular unprotected sex, right? So in spite of that, when they're not able to conceive, that is the case of infertility. Now, to help those infertile couples or to help them, there is the assisted reproductive technology, that is the art. Now in that, now see, from here onwards, there will be a lot of short forms for which the long forms you people have to remember. They directly come in the question as it. So assisted reproductive technology, short form is art. So the first one is in vitro fertilization. Now, this is the most commonly used. You might have heard about the test tube baby, right? In vitro for like IVF centers and all. You might have heard about that. You might have seen it also. This is like here, what happens is that this is done in a laboratory condition wherein the eggs are taken from the female partner or the donor and the sperm is taken from the male partner and they are combined in a petri dish in the lab. Once the fusion has occurred, meaning once the fertilization has been done, now the embryos, once they start developing, you people remember cleavage. So like when they develop for 3 to 5 days and then they are placed in the uterus of the female. So fertilization is done artificially, like in the controlled environment in the laboratory condition, and then the embryo is placed in the uterus. This technique is the in vitro fertilization. In vitro means in the lab, in vivo means inside the body. Then the next one is intracytoplasmic sperm injection, ICSI. So here what happens is that the sperm is taken and it is directly injected inside the egg. So it increases the probability of the fertilization taking place, right? Because normally you people studied in human reproduction that there can be many sperms reaching the egg but fail to fertilize. Okay. So in that case, to help, the sperm injection is given directly into the egg. Again, this is also done with the help of a microscopic needle. And once the fertilization occurs, the embryo is again placed in the uterus. This is also happening in a lab, in a very controlled environment. The next is the gamete intra-fallopian transfer, which is the transfer of the ovum that is collected from a donor into the fallopian tube, right? Like where? Like the site of fertilization, because in this case, maybe the female cannot produce the egg, but has a suitable environment to develop the fetus. Like the uterus is perfect, the fallopian tube is perfect. It's just that her gametogenesis is flawed. So in that case, the gamete is taken from a donor and then it is introduced into the fallopian tube. Now the sperm would go there and fertilization would happen. So this happens in vivo. This technique is in vivo, meaning taking place in the body. After that, there is the zygote intra-fallopian transfer. Okay, now zygote intra-fallopian transfer is again the test tube baby program wherein the egg is taken from the wife or from the donor. The sperms are taken from the husband or from the egg, and then they are made to be fused together in the lab, just like in a petri dish, right? Now the zygote up to 8th blastomere stage, it is transferred into the fallopian tube. So that slowly it would descend and it will go to get implanted in the uterus, right? In which uterine layer does the fetus get implanted, students? You people are able to hear me, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So in which of the endometrial layer does the zygote or the fertilized egg gets implanted? Which of the layer?
Endometrium.
Endometrium, correct. So here now, if the zygote or the fertilized egg is placed in the fallopian tube, then it will go and get implanted. But if the embryo is like, it is developed and then it is more than 8 blastomere stage, then it will be transferred to the uterus directly, and that will be called as intrauterine transfer, IUT. Remember, there is a difference between IUT and IUD. One is intrauterine transfer, which is a method of treating infertility. An intrauterine device is what? What is it? What is intrauterine device?
Ma'am, it's a device which is inserted in the uterus, in the cervix, so as to prevent sperm motility.
Yeah, it is the one wherein it doesn't allow. It's a contraceptive method, right? It is the intrauterine contraceptive. So when the embryo gets developed more than 8 blastomere stage, then it is transferred in the uterus, and we call that process as intrauterine transfer. But before that, it is transported in the fallopian tube, and that is what we call as zygote intra-fallopian transfer. Now, can someone tell me the difference between intra and inter? Why is it written intra-fallopian transfer and not inter-fallopian transfer? Anyone?
Maybe because intra means inside, yeah. So within the fallopian tube it happens.
Yes. Intra means within, inter means in between. So that is right. The last one is the artificial insemination, AI. Don't write artificial intelligence. Now this is the one wherein let's just say the male has healthy sperms and the female has healthy eggs, but the male is unable to inseminate the female, to sort of send the sperms there in the female tract because of certain problems, or you can say the problem in the erection of the penis. So in that case, what happens? This is one case, and the other is when the male has low sperm count per ejaculate. So in that case, it is corrected by artificial insemination, wherein the semen, which will be collected from the husband or from the donor, will be artificially introduced into the vagina or directly into the uterus. And when it is directly injected into the uterus, we'll call it as intrauterine insemination. But before that, you'll call it as artificial insemination because it is being done with the help of certain artificial techniques. Now comes the sexually transmitted diseases. Now see, sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, they are also known as venereal diseases, VD, or RTI, that is reproductive tract infection. Okay, now they are the ones that are spread through the sexual contact. or with the body fluids such as semen, saliva, and blood. Now, examples of the sexually transmitted diseases are chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, AIDS, and hepatitis. Now, remember that AIDS and hepatitis, they can be contracted apart from sexual relationship, that is by wrong type of blood transfusion, right? Maybe infected blood got transfused, that is the case. Or for drug abusers, right? You people know that they use syringe and stuff, and it's like they're not so hygienic and posh that they'll be like, okay, I'm going to use this needle, you use that needle. No, it's like one needle common for everyone when they abuse the drug together. So when the sharing of the needle is done, the needle tip gets contaminated with the blood. Then by using, you can say common syringes, and also this like the AIDS and the hepatitis are the diseases that can be transported from the mother to the fetus, imagine, in utero. So other than sexual contact, these are the other ways by which AIDS and hepatitis like diseases could be contracted. And remember that hepatitis B, AIDS, and genital herpes, they are incurable, not cured. There's no cure for it available. The prevention is there, then the treatment of the symptoms are there, but to completely cure the person out of these three diseases, not at all available. Who can tell me the full form of AIDS? AIDS stands for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Clear? And now students, with this, we have come to the end of this particular chapter. Now tell me if you people have any doubts in any of the topics. Because now we will be solving some questions together. So if there is any doubt, you people tell me. I hope all the topics of this particular chapter are clear to everyone, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, just 1 second. Now I'll be sharing some questions that people can do over here. Now the next chapter, after we are done with the question, we're going to start with the principle of inheritance and variation. There also we will be doing a lot of questions, and you people should be ready with it. Now all the first two chapters that we are done with, students, are you people learning that chapter, doing the questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you don't leave it, because you have to prepare for it very nicely. So don't leave it. And have you written anything as far as the notes of this particular chapter is concerned, reproductive health?
Yes,
Have you
ma'am.
written anything? Okay, what is the last thing you people wrote down? Tell me. Tell me, Ibrahim, you tell me. What is the last thing you've written?
I don't have my notebook right now, so I can't really tell you.
You sit in the class without your notebook.
Mama, I can't find it today, so. But I mean, I mostly take screenshots of my notes. I have a lot of screenshots of my. I take screenshots of these notes every day. Screenshots too.
So you
I
don't
can tell you
write.
from this. I write, but if I can't find my notebook, so like I can't. Yeah.
So you don't have any notebook with you.
I have a notebook, mom. I have a notebook. That's where I submit the homework, yeah. And I make the notes. But like sometimes I take screenshots if I don't want to write.
You don't remember what you've written last, right? Okay. Then I'm sharing some questions. Now you people see the screen. Now take out a page or a notebook or whatever. You to write the answers to each of these MCQs. I will be discussing this, okay? Can you see the screen, students? Can you see the MCQs?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Take out a page or you take out your notebook, whichever notebook you people have, and then start writing just the answers. Write the answers. Also, once you're done, let me know. I'll scroll it. Okay.
Done.
Yes, both of you are done.
1 second, ma'am.
Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. What is the answer for the first one?
C.
C. Intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Very good. Okay. Next, increased IMR, infant mortality rate, and decreased maternal mortality rate in a population. What will it cause?
Ma'am, decline in growth rate. Yeah, B.
Decline
Is that
in
right?
the growth rate. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Intensely lactating mothers do not generally conceive due to now you people have studied human reproduction chapter also, so you should be able to answer this.
Yes, ma'am. Suppression. No, wait, no. Yeah, suppression of
Mm.
gonadotrophins mostly.
It suppresses the gonadotrophins, that is LH and the FSH. They are not secreted enough so that the gametogenesis is not done. Okay, very good. Next, let's solve this question.
Yes, ma'am. Done. Done.
Done, students? Done till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let us discuss the answers. Starting from here, sterilization techniques are generally foolproof methods of contraception. Foolproof means no failure whatsoever, right? And it has the least side effect. But this is the last option for the couples. Why? What is your answer? What did you people choose for this? Hmm? Switch on your
Ma'am,
video.
D, all of the above, yeah?
Yes, all of them. All right, next. A national level approach to build up a reproductively healthy society was taken in which year was taken up?
1950s.
Hmm?
1950s.
50s or 60s?
Um,
Tell me the answer that you people are like completely sure with. 50s or 60s?
Ma'am, A, yeah? 1950s. 50s, yeah.
50s. Sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, correct. Emergency contraceptives, they are effective if they are used within.
A.
Okay, both of you switch
72
on your videos, please. Yes, 72 hours of coitus, correct. Okay, choose the right one among the statements given below. And see, almost all of the options, like majority of the options are useless. First, IUDs are generally inserted by the user herself. Big no. It is done with the help of a doctor. Then, they increase the phagocytosis. This is their function, 100%. IUD suppresses gametogenesis. No. Why would the gametes not be formed? It's just that the sperms, they are killed in the process of being sent here. This is also wrong. Then IUDs once inserted need not to be replaced. No, it will go bad in the body. It will literally start to decompose. So again, no. So B is the correct answer. All right. Following statements are given regarding the MTP. Choose the correct option given below. What is the answer for this?
Ma'am, is it C, 1, first and fourth? Yeah.
C, you're saying.
Yeah.
But they're not added. Correct. That's true. Correct. Okay, next is from which sexually transmitted diseases identify the one which is not specifically, it doesn't affect the sex organs. You have to explain your answers also, students, that why are you choosing what you're choosing.
Uh, will it be AIDS? I think it's AIDS, yeah.
Why?
No, because Rustol will affect the genitals.
So why not
Only AIDS
AIDS?
won't, yeah.
What happens in the AIDS?
Ma'am, the immunity decreases in AIDS.
Yeah. In the AIDS, the immune system is attacked instead of the sexual organ. Very good. All right. Then condoms are one of the most popular contraceptives because
All of the above.
Correct. Okay, next question is choose the correct statement regarding the ZIF procedure. Which one? Zygote intra-fallopian transfer. So, ova collected from a female donor is transferred to the fallopian tube to facilitate the zygote formation. Zygote is collected from a female donor and transported to the fallopian tube. Zygote is collected from a female donor and transferred to the uterus. Ova is collected from a female donor and transferred to the uterus. Which one? Correct statement they are asking. Yes, B is the right answer. Now, but see, in the case of this thing, it's not the zygote is not such collected, but it is made and then it is transferred into the fallopian, right? Okay, the surgical removal, the correct surgical procedure as a contraceptive method is called as
Vasectomy.
vas. Is the cutting of the vas deferens. What is ovariectomy?
As far as I know, removal of the ovaries.
Yeah, the name only suggests that, so it is the removal of ovaries. What is hysterectomy? See, the word hystera. This means uterus. So hysterectomy is the removal of the uterus. Okay. So it's the removal of uterus. And vasectomy you already know. What is castration? It is the removal of testes. Surgical removal of testes is called as castration. So these things that you don't know, you can note it down somewhere that you remember this. So the last question, diaphragms are contraceptive devices used by the females. Choose the correct option from the statement given
Mom,
below.
second and third, yeah? C.
C. Second,
Yes,
they are
ma'am. Yes.
introduced into the uterus. They are placed to cover the cervical region. They act as a physical barrier. They are, yeah, correct. Second and third. What is the meaning of spermicidal? What is the meaning of spermicidal?
Mom, killing of sperms. Yeah.
Spermicidal means sperm killing. Cidal means killing. So spermicidal is the thing, the agent that will be killing the sperm. Clear? So we have done 13 MCQs up until now, but we still need to practice more. Now see, in all of these questions, I have been asking you the answers and stuff, but now we move on to these questions. Now see, here are some set of, like these are your practice questions. So now you are going to write the answers. Okay, once the class will be over, you'll send me the answers. I'll check it. Okay. So now you people can start. Students, you don't have to give me the answer right now. You write it in your paper and you share the picture of that paper with me, okay? Both of you will do it. I will wait for it because I have to check these. So are you done? Till for question number 3?
Yes, ma'am.
And no one will search it on Google. I'm telling you beforehand only. I will find it out. Done? Till here, students? Shall I scroll? See, the 6th question is continued over here, this side.
Ma'am, can you show the first statement? Okay, ma'am.
Also, student, while you're doing the questions, this one is a little out of syllabus, so you don't need to attempt this. Okay, this test hasn't been taught to you. The rest of the questions. Okay. Also, one hint for this eighth question is that amniocentesis is depending upon the chromosomal pattern of the amniotic fluid. So, with that, you people can make out which would be the answer. Clear? Which question are you talking about, Justin? Yes. Shall I scroll, students? Now see this one. Now the 10th question. Also, one more thing. Can you tell me why did you think it was jaundice? Hmm? Tell me, Justin. Unmute yourself and speak. Why do you think it was jaundice? Why not any other disease? It is the right answer, obviously, but why not any? Unmute and speak.
Ma'am, because in the Mendelian disorders, I just guessed because there's Down syndrome, color blindness, cystic fibrosis. Jaundice is not really there relating to any of that. So I just guess.
Yes, very good. Because jaundice is not any, you can say, sex-related disorder or of that sort. It is the disorder because of the overproduction of the bile, right? That is this. Very good. Very good. And see now, from now on, whoever has to speak something, unmute and speak. I will not read the chat box. Have you people read the statement? Shall I show you the options?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you scroll?
Done, students? Shall I scroll?
Yes, ma'am.
Last question is 15. 15 questions to do. Also in this question, see, basically these questions are related with the population, right? So the overpopulation and the menace that comes along with it, that is discussed in these questions. So are you people done with the 14th question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And 15?